It's a new year, so I want to start this live coding series on a new foot and take our old project and sort of, well, wipe out its guts and start over. But I don't want to lose everything. I want to keep the build scripts. I want to keep the GitHub actions. I do want to also update to Xcode 26, which means making some changes to make it usable. So that's what we do in this live coding session, is just basic clean start on not a new project, but it is. Been a long time, not lonely time. Apologies to everyone for being so absent. Greetings, Mudshark and Garbob. Good to see you both. With my house, John, with my house overrun by grandchildren for a solid 3 months there, I'm amazed that I was able to do any streaming at all. There were, of course, those unexpected, not happening today times. But we're back, sort of, mostly. Administrative stuff. What I mean by mostly is that this week and next week, I'm on twice. And then I'm going to be off for 4 weeks because my wife and I need a chance to recover from those 3 months. What a blessing. What a wonderful time. But it is a lot, and we need to get to know each other again. So here we are. Happy New Year. Well, it's a new year. And let's make it happy. Damn it. In spite of all the crap. For those folks who are watching after the fact, welcome. My name is John Reed. I'm a technical coach, author. Find me. And what are we doing? It is a new start. I have plans. I have great desires. So what we did last year was we worked on Mastermind, doing TDD with SwiftUI, and doing it from the outside in. And here, let me find my random set of notes here. Let's see. So one of my goals, William Wake. Welcome, Bill. One of my goals is to say, okay, Mastermind, outside in, is enough to prove that it works, but it's awkward. And I want to, among other things, start over inside out and say, let's build up the game, and then let's bolt on. Welcome, Gravelways, first-time chatter. Hey. Nice to have you. Let's build up Mastermind, the game, test-driven, fully functional game, and then figure out how do we bolt on SwiftUI. And that's where things would get interesting, right? Because inside out, there is no pure inside out. Classic old school TDDers, we didn't really talk about inside out and outside in. We did whatever was easiest, whatever made sense in the context to help us move forward. And so a lot of times what happens is you build up a thing, and then you say, okay, now I'm working on the UI. Skinny through. Nice. I like that. And you build up the UI and you say, oh, shoot, we need this thing that I didn't have in mind. So then, you go back and forth. I like the idea of skinny. It would be really nice to see how we can slim down the SwiftUI views to become as much as possible skinny. What's the other word? Classic term, I'm blanking out. Dumb. um, very thin. So that's sort of my overarching goal. Now there are other things I want to do. As part of that, I'd love to play with Claude Code and figure that out and get to know it. I do want. Oh, this is the next thing that is high on my list. Well, actually, this. It's 2026. It's time for me to use Xcode 26. Maybe we should do that right now. In order to sort of start over, my intention is to save everything we've done on a branch and then basically clear out the main branch to be a mostly empty project again. But this is a big one that I want to do, and that is discovery trees. Discovery trees. Where are my discovery trees? Discovery trees are a fantastic way of visualizing the work, especially for collaboration, but it works great solo because it's super flexible, it's super intuitive, and darn it, the AI can't really read it. So, what I'd like to begin, sort of the first big thing I want to begin work on is let's come up with some way to have something like a discovery tree, something that works good for humans and for the AI. That's what I want. Why don't we start here? Xcode 26. There are immediately a couple of things that we need to do. And that's me going. I can't believe how this change in the icons. Oh well, that's the least of our problems. So we have Xcode 26. I have them side by side. I mean Xcode 26, and this one is Xcode 16. The big thing that's changed here is tab behavior. Xcode 16 just worked. Is there any way to save the discovery tree as XML or something? I would like it to be part of the project, yeah? Right now, it's just out here in my case, in Miro land. But it should be in the repo. How? That's what we need to figure out. So tabs in Xcode 16, I could just click on something and I could just option click on something. And here I guess it opened the second view down on the bottom because of real estate. Normally it's left and right. And let's say we double click that, and then there's another tab. It's all pretty cool. Xcode 6. Oh, and if I close this, I'm clean, and I can. Whoop! Did that? I think that behavior is how it's always been. If you close it, no editor, all good. Just keep it for now. Problem here, Xcode 26, is if I say Command W to close this, it's like, oh, close Xcode. No! Don't close Xcode. So we come to our, that's old Xcode. You can tell because it's useful. Let's see where tabs are. Navigation? Here we go. Yep, that's the kind of stuff we need to do. This one. There's the new, not so glorious, but it is what it is thing. Okay, so settings, navigation, pin editor tabs. So instead of pinning manually, when tab is created, oh, I've been going with, oh gosh, really? I've been going when document is edited, which matches the old behavior, I think. Where did navigation style, open in tabs, option click. Oh, where did I have all this stuff? Here we go. Start page, document is edited or created. I'm maybe I'll experiment with that. Let me try that. One of the rules of a coach and a learner is, faced with a new idea, don't debate it. Try it. Click on code with option, shows quick help, jumps into navigation with option, uses new unpinned tab. Let's say option uses next editor pane. That's what I want. Option shift, double click. Navigation double click. I don't remember what this is. Let's see. If I double click. Oh, double click used to be, this is unpinned in italics, and that's the pinning action. So this can be whatever we want over here. What did I have it as? This is my snapshot of my stuff at work. Anybody remember to invite John to the chat? Me? Or different John? All JONs, please stand up. Double click uses new unpinned tab. Let's try new pinned tab. So I think this will help. New editor tabs open with a start page or blank. What the heck is a start page? So if I close this now, that's the start page. What is blank? Nothing. I'm used to using the start page right now, maybe I should try it blank to see what that's like. So Carbob, trouble in River City. All right. Well, we'll try these settings. We'll maybe experiment with them. One other change I've noticed is that I can no longer command 0 to open and close the navigators. It does something else. And so what I've had to do is say, okay, command 1, which is to show the file navigator. But there's no way to say, just close it. So I think they repurposed it for something else. All right. So Xcode 26, bit of a pain, but there it is. It should now, let's see if that's tab. Everything is pinned. Just done Xcode 26 preferences set up so that we get tabs back. Oh, I never showed you the behavior without. It just, yeah. And now the other thing we can do is actually just close things. Instead of Command W, meaning I'm going to quit Xcode, which is, well, again, it's the world we have to live in. So with that, let's close Xcode 26, Xcode 16. And we thank it. Now, the other thing I want to do is create a branch, put all this on it. You never used it, but it makes you miss it. All right, so let's name this 2025. Outside in, maybe something like that, for posterity. With that, let's clean out main. Oh, wait, I also want it on a Git work tree. Git work trees, it turns out, I never used them, but I have to use them at work. I don't have to, but they're incredibly useful because the project at work is so ginormous that if you switch branches, then you've pulled in 1,000 changes from other developers, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna rebuild, and it's like, oh well, I have to rebuild everything because so much changed. And your derived data, which is where all the cached objects go, says, oh, this is all out of date now. I guess I better rebuild everything. And instead of that, a Git work tree lets you keep branches on separate folders. And people are also finding this helpful with augmented coding, where you can say, let's maybe try some experiments, or you can refer to stuff. So I want to be able to open it easily. So how does this work? I don't remember. Get work tree, add. Do. Add. Like, which way do I do this? Path. Okay. The path is going to be Mastermind 2025. That's what I'm going to call my folder. Interesting. CSV export. Now that's good if you need to migrate a whole thing, but I'm essentially doing a clean start here. But that's good to know. And if you want to migrate from a whiteboard to question mark, whatever it is we are going to do. So let's, if I go up and into Mastermind, there it is, 2025. Is that? Wait. Okay, now let's switch this branch to 2025 outside in. There. And now let's get rid of the branch Mastermind 2020. Whoops. That one. So now we've got Mastermind 2025 on the 2025 branch. If I go back to Mastermind, it's on the main branch. So now I can clean this out, but we still have all the old stuff. It's also, all this is on GitHub, so you can play with it. Hey, Rick. Yeah, this is Eric. Oh my gosh. The gang's all here. You didn't forget about me? I'm so surprised that many of you have shown up. Yes, this is the old project. Mastermind is now the new project. Let's clean it out. And the reason I want to clean it out instead of starting a new project is, if you recall, starting a new project was kind of a pain. We had to set up all sorts of stuff, including getting the project set right for TDD, for fast feedback, and setting up some GitHub actions. We played with deployment, but we don't have deployment right now, but that was an initial thing we tried. And I don't want to repeat all that. So let's go in here and just remove stuff. What am I going to keep? Well, I think I just need to keep a dummy SwiftUI view and rip out everything else, including all the domain stuff. We're going to start all over. How is this going to play out? Is it going to end up mostly the same? Probably. But let's create a SwiftUI. Oh, there it is. View called dummy placeholder. and switch the app to show placeholder. Let's try that much. Whoops, don't build to my phone. What are we gonna go to? Sure. To Dino? Man, welcome everyone. Hello world. Okay. I'm not going to commit that yet. Because I think I can safely... Well, let me commit it. And then I won't push it until it's all clear. Could you have reset hard to an old commit with almost nothing in it? Yeah, probably. Then I have to go make sure I find the right thing. In fact, how am I going to... Okay, so I'm going to commit and then I'm going to force... Wait, how am I going to... Yeah. How am I going to end up with an empty thing? I'm going to squash everything? I don't know. Well, let's commit this so we don't lose it. And this is, I don't know what notation to use. This is like a work in progress, so yeah, there could be various things. If I just jump back to an old commit, what if I miss some interesting things in between that I wasn't aware of? So, yeah. Let's see. Oops. I don't want this to be my default anymore. Let's say X. This is Quicksilver, which is still I've been using it for a long time now. And I want to say, set this as the default for X. It's more than a launcher. It's a action builder. So with that, I should be able to rip out domain entirely and UI entirely and not have whatever it's warning about here. Let's make sure that this builds and runs with almost nothing in it. Okay. Oops. Now, how do I squash everything or just set this as the new start? I could delete the .git. No, because I got the branch. Well, let's ask something. Or let's ask you. If I can squash everything from head to initial commit. Let's see. Whoops. Okay. I want to, what's wrong with my thingy here? Check, check. There we go. Using Git, how do I squash all commits to a single new start? Option 2, brand new commit nuclear, but clean. Give it a little more context. I do want to keep a branch in case that matters. Create a new root commit for this branch only. This is stuff. We're all, I think, getting better at scanning. Like, I didn't read all that. And that's thankfully due to the good highlighting it does. Check out Orphan. All right, let's do this. Switch to a new branch, main clean, blah, blah, blah. And our branch has initial commit in there. And then replace main with the cleaned branch. If you have everything you need in the project, you could, yes, I could, but then I'd blow away the branch I saved. And I don't want to do that. That's what I normally do. I normally just remove .git, say start over. But this is unusual to save everything. You know, should it go in a different repo? So this is a branch command I'm not familiar with. Git branch. Boom. And now everything has diverged. So I should be able to force with lease. Y'all know about force with lease, right? I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm the solo person here. It could just as well be force, but when you're in a group, this keeps folks from stepping on each other's toes. Okay. So now browse, and we should have a clean start with basically nothing in it. Oh, there's Windsurf. Like I would have wrote. Oh, there's Cursor wrote these rules. Oh, there's stuff to clean out. What's in VS Code? That's probably for Cursor or Windsurf. Maybe I used VS Code at one point. Well, these are things that are okay to have around. All right. I'll mention this again while everyone is still here. My schedule is still spotty because my wife and I need to recover from our 3 months with the grandkids. So 2 weeks on, this week and next week I'll be on, then I'll be off for 4 weeks, and then hopefully back in the saddle. This I never reference anymore. This was from a friend, and the main problem is it's too long. It's too much. One thing we have learned is keep your rules short. There's something I saw a reference to something intriguing, and that is like folks are discovering ways using these tools to have tools sort of rule sets on demand, so you don't have this entire novel that chews up your context. Instead, it's like for specific things, kind of like we've been doing with process files. So do you now have two completely different branches as if you split it directly after init? Basically, let's take a look at outside in, and we should see, yeah, look at all this. And for me, it all happens to be side by side, so I can pull it up if I want to refer to it without switching branches. I can say, let's take a look at the way we did it before. All right. Well, I'm going to say, oh, it's not quite done. We had a warning. Let's let it do whatever it wants here. And that's just administrative blah, blah. Oh, look at this. So the last check was Xcode 15, 15.2, and now we're on 26.1. Move some stuff around, whatever. Let it do its thing. So this is an environment change. Here, I'll do it this way. Environment change of Xcode 26. Let Xcode 26 update project settings. Oh, the other thing I forgot to check in all this is we should have our actions still in place. Yeah. Now it's probably going to fail. So I'm using a thing called, is it too big to show up in here? I use this thing called vanilla to hide stuff, hide the bar widgets, menu widgets when I'm streaming of everything except for the clipboard. But I'm using a tool called Super Whisper that I saw Llewellyn Falco using. The nice thing about Super Whisper is where the settings, configuration, advanced settings, was it? Or no, models? There was something I changed where I said, I want it local only. I don't want it going out and talking to anything. I want it only using the local model so that it's totally safe. And where was that? I changed the toggle recording to something because I think the default clashed with stuff I used. I also changed the recording window to this mini style. And it's pretty good for, especially for prompting. We do have an error here, which is probably because, I was going to say probably because the tests passed, but maybe we should check this out. Trying it locally first. Okay. What's it angry about over here? Is it using let's check this out. List available Xcode versions. Current version of Xcode. Oh! Well, there is some work we have to do. Okay, let's clean this up. So this is in GitHub Workflows. We want to change. What is the latest? Well, stay on target, John. What am I using? 26.1. So let's match it. And make sure that we have the right name. 26.1. Oh, there's a 26.1.1 and there's 26.2. Well, let's use this for now, just to match. Oops, sorry about that. There. I don't remember why we set up a separate build release, but there was something about that's good about it, where it's like, okay, do the debug build, and all, run all the tests, but also make sure the release build, you can still build the thing. And it's unusual, but you can end up in deep doo-doo, especially, of course, in corporate. Let's try this. Run on value may need a bump. Let's see. Runs. Oh yeah, that was that is a good question. That was the other thing. GitHub Mac runners list. Here, I'm going to stay put. In part because, look at me, still running on Sequoia. And I'd like to keep it that way until I have to make the jump. So I think this is okay. Thanks for the question. Let's try it. So this is a low risk as far as project stuff goes. There's nothing in the project really. Bump. Do I have? No, I'm not going to use AI to do this yet. Workflow to Xcode 26.1. And let's make sure we're green. So this is all part of having a clean start, which is something that Tim Ottinger is really starting to, I wouldn't say harp on, repeat how useful it is. I mean, I hear his voice in my head when I sit down at work and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to start on a new thing. And he's like, I hear him say, okay, clean start. And to me, that means everything's green before you make any changes, right? Otherwise, how do you know? So let's see how this goes. Let's have a look. Make sure, there we go. This was all part of the initial sort of setup that I didn't want to lose, was how useful it is to be able to see, okay, on this runner, what is this runner? This runner is working on what? And what versions of Xcode are available, and which one are we using? All good stuff. While this goes, my plan, for those of you who stepped in partway, my plan for the new year is to start Mastermind over, except take it from an inside-out perspective this time. We did outside in. Oh my gosh, Stacy, is that you? Hey, all right. I wish I could see you. You can see me. Oh man, I'm happy. It's good to be with my friends, even if it is just in a weird chat thing. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. So super handy. So my plan is to do the game Mastermind again. Wait. You're right. 2611, even though I said 26.1. My plan is to stay on target, John. My plan is to do Mastermind, start over, because we did a strict outside in with Swift UI, enough to prove that it worked, also to discover things got a little hairy as far as like you drop stuff into the UI and then have to sort of extract domain stuff to make it clean. What if we do it the other way, where we start with a domain, just a pure running game? By the way, pure running means it needs a different UI. So this would have like textual, like command line. That's what I'm envisioning, is a command line UI, so that maybe even in a separate project, so that we can run acceptance tests on it. Maybe using approval tests. Oh, I'd like to use approval tests on that. To say, here's a game, go. It should look like this. The other thing that I want to do next week, though, is to just find a way to take discovery trees. If you don't know what discovery trees are, they are a super intuitive, just look up discovery tree with Steve Kuo. And you'll find his articles on this. Super intuitive way to break down the work and represent it in a form that it's for a team, it's for collaboration, it's also for an information radiator, because when stuff is in progress, there's actually, I've got sort of the unfinished stuff down here. You can track the in progress things just by following the orange and say, oh, we're doing something, multiple rounds, draw empty guesses, showing 10 empty rounds, show round 1 at the bottom. You can easily just see how much is in process, and where is it, and what's stuck, and what got what other questions are there, what got punted. But I want to do this now in something that a genie, as Kent Beck calls them, can use. So I want to work. I don't want to be the sole person. I don't want only humans to be reading and writing the tree. I want it to be good for people and for humans. That's the main thing we're going to explore next week. And hey, all tests pass, 0 tests. I'm surprised. I thought that it would complain and say, there are no tests. Yep. Slap. But I'm good with that. Build release failed. Why? Let's see if we can... Oop. Reproduce this. So build succeeded there. What's the deal? It's failing on the package graph. I don't know why. Let's see if it's a fluke. What is with the versions of Xcode? 26.1, but it says it's using 26.11. All right. Maybe I should use 26.11. I don't even know when it came out. And there's 26.2. Wow. Yep. So these are the things to check out if you don't know how about discovery trees and how great they are, especially for you might say a multi-mob, for a bunch of separate teams working, where each team works together on a single feature. You know, teaming, mobbing, ensemble programming. Okay, wave your rubber chickens. And this time, okay, it was a fluke. Might not be able to build for 26.11. We did have some problems before. Wow, did we? But it looks like we got lucky. It looks like it was a fluke. So we should be green. Ta-da! Back to green for a clean start. And we are here. Regarding package resolution, I haven't tried it yet, but it would be cool to try to use Toist registry to resolve dependencies much faster in theory. Toist is great, and on a big project, I've seen it be a real saver. Because for those of you who don't know, it basically generates project files from a description, and it generates them on the fly. So it says, okay, I need to build this. This depends on that. That depends on that. So let's create a project with only those things in it, which is super handy when you want to work in a massive project, but you're only working in a single plugin architecture. Then it will say, okay, so I'm not going to build all that. Like, why should I? Why should I even have it in the project, bogging down your indexing? And yeah, it's cool. It's cool. All right, folks, let's make some notes. We are good to go on this. That is not the color. There we go. So, not exactly a discovery tree, but I just marking this. This is the thing. This is what I want to work on. So next time, let us work on a discovery tree that works for humans and for machines. I don't know that we have any notes here to do in a retro. Didn't even prepare it. But hey, let's get in the habit. What did we do? What did we explore? I mean, this was just project setup, but we did use a Git work tree to keep branch in separate folder. Why am I typing this when I could just say it? What else? We kept we had clean start. Fine, keep the period. This includes not just local, but everything. We still do have some junk in here, but I mean, that's not so interesting. The junk being old agent information. And part of what I want to do is create a new set of agent rules. Anything else? It's good to be back. Revisited some tools added along the way. Like what? I don't recall. Oh, you mean like our build scripts. And the GitHub Actions. Yeah. Build scripts and GitHub Actions. Reuse. Yeah, those things we'll see going forward. Oh, Xcode 26 tab settings. All right. Well, folks, take care. I will be back. Oh, yeah. I did play with Xcode Cloud once way back. Yeah, it's got its pros and cons. So next week, let's work on a human and AI friendly discovery tree. And then I will be off for 4 weeks. And when I come back, I noted that that's actually going to be on daylight savings time change. So anyway, come back next time. Thanks everyone for joining. It was so good to see so many of you. Take care and stay sane. It's nuts out there. So fight the power. Be good.